I call the member for Wright.
Speaker, and rise to regretfully advise the House of the tragic and sudden passing of a mayor in my electorate whose shire is completely engulfed within the electorate of Wright. I speak of none other than the tragic and sudden passing of Mayor Steve Jones AM. Steve's time on this place has been cut short by many years. A man of only 54-year-old, has served in the council as a councillor since 1997 when he was first elected, and after amalgamations took on the mayor's role in the year 2004. Mr. Speaker, this man's passing is a great loss to not only the Shire, but to the region, my electorate, this state. No one will ever forget the Lockyer Valley Grantham floods, which Mayor Jones played an enormous role in rebuilding that community. It was for that effort, that colossal effort, that he was awarded his Australian Medal. His funeral is tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the Lockyer Valley in Gatton, and I would suggest that it will be an enormous function. His wife Anne, it must be just a terrible burden on her. I mean, to lose someone who's been chronically ill is something that you can prepare your mind for. But when your partner, your life partner, your best friend gets up of a morning and goes to work and just never comes home, is a shock. And as I said in my opening comments, his age is that he shouldn't be. He died on the job. He was actually conducting a meeting with a number of other mayors, the Ipswich Mayor and the Somerset Mayor, in the Ipswich Mayor's chamber, and by the reports in the press, slumped in the chair and never regained consciousness, and was transshipped to the Ipswich Hospital, and then from Ipswich through to the PA in Brisbane. I'll always remember fondly some advice he gave me. He was known in the Shire as Jonesy, and it gives you a bit of an insight as to his likely, the fond following that everyone had for him. Jonesy once said to me when I rung him in and around when the state politicians' wages had been increased, and in Queensland the mayor's wages are linked to state backbenchers' salaries, and they had, through an independent tribunal, had an increase in wages, and subsequently his went up, and he was taking some negative traffic about, as all politicians do when there's a pay rise. And I rang him, I said, "How are you holding up?" And he said to me, "Scotty," he said, "it doesn't matter what a politician gets paid." He said, if we got paid a push bike and a chook sandwich, half the Shire would want you to give the chook sandwich back. And he's right. He's right. He said, so never enter into a debate about politicians' wages. He was a mayor who was well liked by his councillors, a very small and boutique council. And he also had a passion for the youth of the electorate. He had a very aggressive Lockyer Valley Youth Regional Council, of which he very proudly, along him and the Deputy Mayor Tanya Milligan, and would often bring them to Canberra to give them exposure to federal politics, state politics, and then get them involved, because he believed that the strength of the Shire was trying to retain the youth and keep them. I also remember a speech that he gave to a mob of developers up on the North Coast in his capacity when he was part of the Regional Council of Mayors, and all the mayors were vying for these developers to come to their shires and invest money. And Jonesy's iconic speech was, "Don't you bastards think about coming anywhere near my electorate." He said, "It's a rural electorate, and our job is to be the salad bowl for the world." And he had a great affiliation with regional Australia. He'll be sorely missed by his wife Anne, his boys James, Dale and Brandon, his grandchildren and their partners, Vale to you, Jonesy. Vale, Steve Jones, AM.